Good morning. How y'all doing? As I alluded to last week, we're in a new location. And I told you last week that I was going to bring some stuff in here and get it kind of decorated up. I didn't do that. Last week was the first week of football. I'm not exactly the least laziest person in the world, and I do procrastinate a lot, and I forgot. So I didn't actually decorate anything, but we're going to have a show today. And we're going to start off talking about the Braves because that's usually what we do. And then we're going to talk. Titans preseason, take two, and then take three. I'm going to do a Madden 23 review. I kind of thought about doing a video game review, and then I thought, I don't know, it's not really sports. And then I thought, that's my show. I'll do whatever I want. And then the fourth take is high school sports. So let's get on into it. Let's see. Braves on fire. Yep. All right, then. I want to say I saw a stat last night that they were 13-2 or something since the 3-game losing streak to the Mets a few weeks ago. They wound up taking 3 of 4 from the Mets, and then I want to say they took 2 of 3 from the Astros. Astros are one of the best teams in the AL, and then of course back-to-back wins over the Pirates, and that should just happen. The Pirates aren't very good. I'm cutting off half of my head. Just a second. I'm gonna scoot this thing up. But they're playing well, and it's everybody. I mean, Ronald still. I mean, he's hitting like 270 or whatever, and his OPS is a little low. He's been on like a month-long slump, and the offense is still fine. It helps that 21-year-old Vaughn Grissom is hitting 400 in his first few weeks at the major league level. And that's something else we got to talk about too, because I keep seeing videos of Ozzie Albies running around out on the field. Here's the thing. I want Ozzie Albies back so bad. He needs to be playing second base, but that means Vaughn Grissom has to move somewhere. I don't know if Vaughn can play left field. I'd rather see Vaughn Grissom out in left field than Robbie Grossman, but that's neither here nor there. I don't get to make that decision. But kind of just it's a good problem to have. You got to kind of wait and see what you've got. So, I don't know. You got Michael Harris, who's going to win NL Rookie of the Year this year, and he's batting 8th in the lineup, sometimes 9th. That's, like I said, pretty good problem to have. Got to figure out where they're going to put Vaughn Grissom. But the Braves are playing really well. Even Jake Odorizzi, who, he went 6 innings and only gave up, I think, 2 runs yesterday to the Pirates. Again, the Pirates aren't very good. We know that. They know that. But regardless, Odorizzi finally had a good start for the Braves. Who pitched last night? Max Fried. 8 innings, 1 run. The Chavis, the first baseman for the Pirates, I think he took a hanger and went yard. I think he scattered 2 or 3 hits throughout 8 innings. Another good effort from the ace. Braves looking good. They're just looking good right now. They're playing good baseball. This is kind of like a few weeks ago when I talked about them facing the Mets. The Mets defeated them because the Mets were playing good baseball and the Braves were not. And the last few weeks, the Braves have been playing good baseball. You're going to have games where the opposition has a great game. They pitch well. They play good defense. They might hit the ball a little bit. But if you don't at least do the little things right, like play defense and get runners over, score guys from third with less than 2 outs, stuff like that, if you're not going to do that, you're not going to win. And the Braves didn't do that a few weeks ago, especially when they had that 3-game losing streak to the Mets. But the last few weeks, they've been doing the little things right. And it helps that you're one of the most talented teams in baseball. So when you're just on fire, you're just not going to lose, especially to the Pirates. They got hot in 1 inning last night, scored 5 runs in the 5th, I think, or 5 runs in the 4th. It's one of them. Y'all know my brain doesn't work correctly, so we'll just kind of go with whatever happens. Braves, they're good. They're good. Mets are good too, though. Hopefully they start to suck. I'd love to see the Mets just absolutely fall apart. In fact, I'd pay a fairly large amount of money to see the Mets just absolutely dookie on themselves and then just miss the playoffs all completely. Like I think that would be phenomenal. I'm doing a fantastic job keeping a straight face right now because I think that's hilarious. That would be one of my favorite things in the world is to see the Mets absolutely fall apart. But who cares? So, let's see. All right. I was doing my promo read on the way here. I was like practicing in my car on the way, and I got to like the second sentence, and I forgot. I can't get past the prompt effective treatment. But we're gonna do the DMA read. Casey's Take brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. We're going to go to a break. Y'all stay right here with us, all right?
Here at Dixon Medical Associates, we've got you covered from neck to toe. Our orthopedics team offers services in sports medicine, foot and ankle reconstruction, spinal surgery, and more. We also have in-house imaging and physical therapy. Dixon Medical Associates, we specialize in what moves you.
I got to be honest. Every time I watch that little video, the intro video, I see the wood panel walls, and I'm already starting to miss them. I'm missing my wood panel walls. But second take, we're gonna get on into it. Titans preseason beat the Bucks pretty good. I know wins and losses don't really count. It's kind of like the points and whose line is it anyway. It really does not matter. But some positives, some negatives, about the same as every other preseason game. I want to say they played, they played Saturday evening, and I had tickets to go. My best friend, my cousin Daniel, who most of you know, he works at CB's, Daniel Lynch. He had tickets for us to go, and when I saw him Friday night before the Dixon Creekwood game, he walked up to me and he said, "Hey, I got tickets. Are you going?" And I was like, "Brother, it's the first week of football. I got 18 stories I got to write." And he's kind of disappointed. He's mad at me I didn't go, but this is preseason. I'm not going to sit up there. It's hot, especially. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care if the tickets are free. The only reason I'd go to preseason is to watch Malik Willis. As soon as Logan Woodside steps on the field, no offense to him, I'm going home. Or I may not go home, but I'm getting the heck out of there. And Malik again just didn't have the greatest day in the world, but that's cool because every time he goes out there, hopefully, you hope he's getting better. I'm not a football coach, but hopefully the football coaches are kind of helping him. But I'm sure they are. I think we've got obviously one more preseason game. I'm pretty sure the roster is still at 75 or 85 right now. I know they started with like 120 or whatever. And then last week they had to cut down to, I believe, 85 or 80. And then they have, let's see, I want to say a week before the season starts is when you have to cut it down to 53 for the final 53-man roster. So there's still a lot of people, and I think you're going to see a lot of people this week in the preseason game. You're going to see a lot of folks that aren't going to make the roster. You're not going to see a whole lot of starters, maybe on defense, because I know they're kind of young and Vrabel wants to get them going. But for the most part, you're not going to see Tannehill, which I think is crazy because Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes both played at least a drive in their preseason game. But the almighty, heaven forbid, Hall of Fame bound quarterback Ryan Tannehill doesn't have to show up in preseason. So hopefully he's ready to go. Hopefully we don't have another Arizona Cardinals week 1 matchup from last year. I don't know if last year was so much Tannehill's fault because, of course, Lewan gave up 12 sacks. I got a sack that day. Oprah Winfrey was handing them out to everybody. If they play like that again, that's just, I'm going to be kind of upset. The weird thing is, though, they played the absolute worst game they could and then went on to have the number 1 seed and then went on to play another really bad game. So there's a lot of different things to look at about it. I wish Tannehill would play, but the Titans they get a win, and it's good to see. They had I want to say they had a few picks. Some of the younger guys, Farley. That's one thing I did want to say. I saw where Farley's really starting to make a few plays with his head. Physically, I think we all know, and anybody that watches football or knows football, I think you can tell that Caleb Farley is a physically gifted individual. He's got great top speed, good ball skills when the ball's in the air. He's got nice hops. He can get up in the air. He can knock it down. Good hands. Physically, like I said, he's got it. He's got the tools. But the problem with him has always kind of been the injury history, which hopefully it's not too bad. Or the going forward, obviously. But you kind of hope Farley can stay healthy, but he's played really well. I like Roger McCreary too. He's played well. Elijah Molden's another one. Some of these linebackers, David Long's going to need to be good this year, especially with Jayon Brown and Rashaan Evans both gone. But Zach Cunningham is here, so that'll be all right. Titans going to win. I don't even know who the third week preseason matchup is. I tell you, when high school football starts, you might as well forget anything else. I got a fantasy football draft this week too. I got to sit down and do my homework for some fantasy football. That's what I'm going to do tonight. What are we going to do? Oh, third take. Let's go ahead and get on into the third take. We're going to talk Madden. Now, I realize there's probably, out of everybody that watches this show, there's probably like 10, 15% of you that might play Madden. Is probably, I probably could have thought of something else to talk about, but I don't care. I want to talk about Madden. I've got it. I bought it. Of course, I've had the PlayStation 5 for a while now. And then Madden 23 came out late last week. I purchased it Saturday morning and downloaded it on my PlayStation. And I've been able to play a few games here and there. And my honest review is it feels really comfortable. The gameplay is fun for the first time in a really long time. I don't feel like the animations take over quite as much. Here's the thing too. I wasn't going to buy the game. Any of you that play Madden, you know that it has completely sucked the last 6 or 7 years. So I wasn't even going to touch it. I wasn't going to bother with it. I wasn't going to get it. I wasn't going to play it. And then the Titans drafted Malik Willis, and I want to play with Malik Willis. And that's the first thing I did. I traded Ryan Tannehill to the Chicago Bears, of all people, for Cody Whitehair and N'Keal Harry. Whitehair is a great guard. N'Keal Harry was already gone in free agency before I knew it. So Madden's actually realistic this year. But Malik's fun to play with. He's got the legs and he's got a good arm. Derrick Henry is a cheat code on that game, which makes sense because Derrick Henry is a cheat code in real life. He is a superhuman. I've said that before. Also, I haven't tried anything else. I've only done the franchise so far. I've got the Titans franchise. I have not tried the face of the franchise. I do not play Ultimate Team. Any of you that play Madden, you might think Ultimate Team is the way to go. I hope you have fun with it. I hope you love it. I do not play it, and I do not care what anybody else plays. I'm going to play whatever I want to play. I know everybody just heard my email go off. I'm going to blame Ivan Aronin. I don't know how to say his last name. I've worked with him for 4 years, but he emailed me in the middle of my show. It's his fault. That's why you heard that. He's not going to watch this either, but I'm going to give him a hard time regardless. Oh, my God. And that's Bleacher Report. I'm just going to have to mute it. We had gone, 15 minutes? 15 minutes, no phone notifications. And then within 12 seconds, I've got 2 of them. And, of course, it's the day I forgot to mute my phone. But Madden feels really good. Now, on to the second part of my review. I need y'all to understand something. I am not very good at playing Madden. I'm getting older, so I'm not as quick with my fingers. My hands are look how fat they are. They just don't move fast. So I'm collectively just getting worse and worse at the game with each passing day. So I have had to rage quit about 2 or 3 times with this game. It is a good bit harder than it has been in years past, which I think is a great thing. And I can say that right now because my blood pressure isn't too high. But if I try to play this thing tonight when I get home and Malik Willis overthrows another pass, then I might throw my controller through a wall. But I'll keep you updated on that. Excuse me. It is quite a bit tougher. The running feels a little bit easier for some reason, but it feels really similar to last year running the ball. Catching is a little bit harder. Passing is much harder. They upgraded or updated, I want to say is the word they used. They updated the logic for the defensive backs, so they play their zone better, which is great because I already sucked at passing on Madden, so now I'm throwing more interceptions. I'm kind of like Brett Favre. Or, hey, I can use the Oprah Winfrey joke again. You get an interception, you get an interception. That's my favorite joke. Madden's not bad, though. It's really not bad. I have not played Madden on a PS4. If you own a PS4, I would assume it's probably still the same old animation controlled game and very crappy and bad experience. If you're a franchise guy like me, you're not going to get a lot of new stuff out of this game. So, I mean, the free agency logic is cool and the trade logic makes it a little bit harder to go out and get good players. But other than that, you've more or less got the same screen. You've got the same objectives, a lot of the same storyline type deals, cutscenes, stuff like that. There's a lot of the same stuff. So if you're a franchise guy like me and you wanted to see a lot of changes, don't go buy it. It's just not going to be that big of a difference. And I would obviously I'd want all of you to go out, make sure you if you're interested in buying Madden 23, at least watch a YouTube video on it, or maybe you go to Twitch and watch somebody live stream it, so you get a good idea of how the game at least looks from the menu page and stuff like that. But gameplay feel, it's the best feeling gameplay in a very long time. My personal opinion, my not so humble personal opinion. I would hope. I would hope that they use. This is how good I feel about this engine and how good the game feels. I would hope that they use it and improve on it because there's still a few things that look a little glitchy and funny, but the engine feels really comfortable of the game. The engine of the game feels really good. The movement feels good. I hope they use it in college football next year. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If EA Sports makes an NCAA football video game and it is not a good football game, I will riot. I'm putting everybody on notice right now. I'm going to go to Tiburon, Florida, or wherever I need to go. I don't care if it's Canada. I'll cross the lines over into enemy territory. Not that Canada's our enemy, but I'll do whatever I have to do. I will show up on the front doorstep and get it fixed. I'm willing to make that change, and that's my kind of fight. So, I want to say that's it for our third take. I've got this new table. It's so great, but you see how it moves? I'm trying not to touch it, and every time like my hand swings by, I hit something that makes a bunch of racket. That's it for our third take. We're going to go to a commercial, and now we know how commercials work around here. Y'all watch the commercial. Pay attention to it. It may be something you really, really need. And then come back, and we're going to hang out and talk some high school sports for the fourth take. All right, y'all stay here.
At Dixon Medical Associates, your health is our number one priority. With over 40 providers, our goal is to bring excellent, convenient, and comprehensive medical care to our community. Dixon Medical Associates. destination for care.
All right. You'll also notice, welcome back to Casey's Take. You'll also notice I left quite a bit of room, or quite a bit of time, excuse me, to talk about high school sports because I alluded to the first week of football, but there's a lot of other stuff. Before I get on into that, we got to do a read again. Casey's Take is brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. I may be going too fast on the numbers. Maybe I need to slow down. Hey, I'm going to make that like the best sounding read that you could get. I want to have one of those like, like one of those advertisement voices, you know? Call Dr. Anthony Tropiano. I can make a bunch of different voices. I'm going to figure out how to do that read because I guess it's just actually sitting down and learning it or memorizing it. Something else I got to memorize. Now, on to high school sports. Fourth take. Like I said, I left quite a bit of time because there is a crap ton of stuff to talk about. We're going to start off with the big event from last week that I was at. I know it was first week of football for all the teams that I cover, but in Dixon, it was the Dixon Creekwood game. So what an event, what an atmosphere. That was so exciting, that game to watch back and forth. I want to say I think Dixon turned it over like 5 times. I think Creekwood turned it over like 3 times. A lot of back and forth in that game. The defenses, and Coach Steele said it best when I asked him. He said both defenses were locked down. He said that they both gave up a long pass play, but other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of anything. And there really wasn't. Really wasn't. Now, I had predicted that Creekwood would win 20-13, and they wound up winning 13-7 in overtime. I feel like I was pretty close. I didn't get it perfect, but I feel like I was pretty close. Again, and this is the first year since I started working at the Dixon Post that I'll be honest, I really wasn't. I really had no clue who would win. I felt like Creekwood would win, but excuse me, the last few years, I kind of felt like Creekwood would win because Dixon either had a brand new coach or they hadn't looked good the year before and hadn't really changed a whole lot. So Creekwood was always kind of on the up and up the last few years that I'd been here. And then last year, Creekwood had a rough year. Dixon brought in a new coach. This had all the makings of being one of those down-to-wire game of the year ESPN Classic type games, and that's exactly what it was. It was a phenomenal game to watch. I know that the Dixon faithful, I know that the fans and the players and the parents of the kids, I know that there were a lot of Cougar parents and Cougar players and fans that were very distraught, didn't like the final. But man, if you're a Dixon fan, you really got to be excited with Coach Tomlinson and the difference of this team so far. And this is something that I wrote in an article last week. I said that in past years, when Dixon loses this game, the look on their faces, oh, here we go again. And it looks like the look on their faces like this one. All of you can read body language, and you know what I'm talking about. They always had the same look, like, oh, here we go again. Last Friday, after Dixon lost to Creekwood, that was not the look on their face. They were mad, but they weren't sad. They weren't. They were mad. They're pissed off. They wanted to go win, and that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to try to do. Friday's going to be hard. Columbia Central's a good team. They've got a lot of a lot of talent. But this team is different. I feel like this coach could be different. I feel like Coach Tomlinson, every time I've talked to him, he talks about getting the culture changed. I think he's already started on it. I think the look on these kids' faces, I think it shows you already. And he had a lot of great quotes that I put into the paper. Hopefully you got to read that. The article's online too. He said you could tell the culture's changing because of how much they care. And I think he's right. I think he's right. That was the first time I've seen kids that were mad instead of annoyed. Years past, they've been like, whatever. And now it's go time. So Dixon County, like I said, they're going to Columbia Central. That's Thursday night. I think I wrote Friday night, but I'm pretty sure the game's Thursday night. That's what Marty Allison told me last night anyway. If that's wrong, you tell Marty he's wrong. I'm kidding, Marty. Kidding. Creekwood. Well, who they got? They're at home, Fairview, Friday night. I'll be there Friday night. Thursday night, we're going to have some Murray County folks out at the Columbia Central game. So we'll have the game covered, have some photos. I'm hoping, now I can't promise you, but I'm hoping that Tennessee Sports Writer Hall of Fame writer for Main Street Murray, Mo Patton, is the one that gets to write up y'all's story, the Dixon County story anyway. That would be a real treat for some of you Dixon County fans to get to read one of his stories because he is a fantastic writer. But they'll play Thursday. Hopefully, Mo can get to that one. Friday, I'll have Creekwood against Fairview here. Now, over for Cheatham, let's see. Cheatham and Harpeth Thursday night. That's the game I'll be at Thursday night. Big in-county rivalry. They will be having a little memorial thing for Eric Bright, the young man that lost his life earlier this calendar year. He did play football for the Cubs. They're going to have a little. Thing for him before the game. So. Make sure you're there a little bit early to check that out. And then Sycamore. They're playing Thursday night too, I want to say, at Hunters Lane. So a lot of football. We're not out of time yet because there's some other stuff I got to get to just real quick. Dixon and Creekwood volleyball played Monday. Creekwood won in straight sets. Dixon's a little bit younger, but they're pretty good. They were also missing, I want to say, 4 starters off their lineup. So Dixon volleyball, don't fret just yet. I think y'all got a lot of talent. You'll be all right. And there's a young lady. It's Nate Dixon's daughter. I want to say her name's Kyla or Kayla, maybe. I may be completely wrong with that. She's a monster for Dixon. She's a very good volleyball player. And then Creekwood, of course, they were healthy. They had everybody running and gunning. Those girls. That's the second time I've got to see Creekwood volleyball play. And those girls are organized, athletic, and they get stuff done. They're very good. Trista Jackson she gets everybody going. They've got some really tall girls up front. They've got a lot of athleticism on that team. Dixon Soccer defeated Cheatham last week, and Harpeth beat Harpeth 7-0. Rachel Brewer scored 5 goals in that game. She is up for the vote in player of the week from last week online. So y'all make sure and check that out. And then what else? Golf. Dixon and Creekwood golf played last night. I'm assuming Dixon won. I did not see the score sheet yet, but Dixon's golf team is very good. Over into Cheatham, Sycamore Harpeth volleyball played Tuesday night. Sycamore got off to a 2-0 lead. Harpeth won the remaining 3 sets to get the win. Cheatham. What do we got? Cheatham volleyball. I did see them play a little bit last week. Coach Garrett got mad at me because I came to a game where they played Creekwood, and Creekwood defeated them pretty easily. And she got mad at me because that was the game I decided to go to. But Coach Garrett's going to get them figured out. They've got a new assistant coach out there, Kennedy Laracy. I have no idea how to say her name, and I apologize for her last name. I did just ruin that, but we're getting close to 30 minutes. I have passed my time. Either way, thank you for coming to Casey's Take. Thank you for watching it this week. More football. There's my shaky screen again. Just get used to it. I'm going to keep hitting this table, and apparently it moves. It'll be fun. It's like a roller coaster ride. Thanks for checking out Casey's Take, and we'll see y'all next week.